Intelligence, the ability to acquire, understand, and apply knowledge and skills to solve problems, adapt to new situations, reason, and make decisions. Intelligence is a set of cognitive and adaptive abilities, learning, reasoning, problem solving, creativity, and emotional understanding, that researchers describe with different models. It can be taught and strengthened by targeted instruction, practice, feedback, and environments that build metacognition, domain knowledge, and transfer. Intelligence has been defined in many ways: the capacity for abstraction, logic, understanding, self-awareness, learning, emotional knowledge, reasoning, planning, creativity, critical thinking, and problem solving. It can be described as the ability to perceive or infer information and to retain it as knowledge to be applied to adaptive behaviors within an environment or context. The term rose to prominence during the early 1900s. Most psychologists believe that intelligence can be divided into various domains or competencies. Intelligence has been long studied in humans, and across numerous disciplines. It has also been observed in the cognition of non-human animals. Some researchers have suggested that plants exhibit forms of intelligence, though this remains controversial. Intelligence is generally understood as the ability to think, reason, understand, learn from experience, and act logically. The concept is complex and has been the subject of extensive research and debate, with varying definitions offered by psychologists and scholars throughout history. Traditionally linked to human behavior and adaptive capacities, intelligence has also been explored in broader contexts, including animal behavior and artificial intelligence. The study of human intelligence gained momentum with the development of intelligence testing in the early 20th century, notably the Binet-Simon scale. However, many psychologists recognize that intelligence tests often fail to capture the full essence of intelligence, leading to misconceptions about IQ scores as complete measures of intellectual capacity. Intelligence is one of the most familiar yet deeply complex ideas in human thought. It appears simple at first glance, as though everyone intuitively understands what it means to be intelligent, but the moment one tries to define it precisely, it begins to expand, shift, and resist any single fixed explanation. At its most basic level, intelligence refers to the capacity to learn from experience, to adapt to new situations, to understand complex ideas, and to use knowledge in ways that help navigate the world. But even this basic description only scratches the surface. Intelligence is not a single ability located in one corner of the mind. It is a living system of interacting mental processes that include memory, reasoning, perception, imagination, emotional awareness, and social understanding. It is both a tool and a process, both something a person has and something a person continually becomes through experience. From the perspective of psychology, intelligence has long been studied as a central feature of human cognition. Early approaches attempted to simplify it into a single measurable capacity, often described as general intelligence or G. This idea suggested that a person who performs well in one cognitive task is likely to perform well in others, implying a shared underlying mental power. For a time, this view dominated scientific thinking because it offered a clear and measurable way to understand differences in human performance. However, as research expanded, it became clear that intelligence could not be fully captured by a single number or factor. Human thinking proved to be far more diverse and context-dependent than this model allowed. As understanding deepened, intelligence began to be seen less as a single entity and more as a collection of interrelated abilities. People can be strong in logical reasoning but less skilled in verbal expression, or highly creative but less structured in analytical tasks. Some individuals excel in understanding emotions and social dynamics, while others are more comfortable with abstract systems and mathematical reasoning. This diversity suggested that intelligence is not one-dimensional but multi-layered, expressed in different ways depending on the situation and the individual. The idea that intelligence can take many forms helped broaden its meaning and move it away from narrow academic definitions. One of the reasons intelligence is so difficult to define is that it is deeply shaped by context. What counts as intelligent behavior in one environment may not be considered the same in another. In formal education systems, intelligence is often associated with memory, problem-solving speed, and the ability to follow structured reasoning. In everyday life, however, intelligence may appear as practical judgment, emotional awareness, or the ability to resolve conflicts. In survival situations, it may involve adaptability, resourcefulness, and quick decision-making. This contextual nature means that intelligence cannot be separated from the world in which it is expressed. It is always shaped by environment, culture, and circumstance. Biology also plays an important role in shaping intelligence. The structure and function of the brain influence how efficiently information is processed, stored, and retrieved. Neural networks, processing speed, and working memory capacity all contribute to cognitive performance. At the same time, intelligence is not fixed at birth. Experiences, education, nutrition, and social interaction all influence how the brain develops over time. This combination of biological foundation and environmental influence shows that intelligence is neither purely inherited nor entirely learned, but emerges from the interaction between the two. It is a dynamic process that continues to evolve throughout life. As research into the brain has advanced, scientists have gained deeper insight into how flexible human cognition truly is. One of the most important discoveries in this area is the concept of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. This means that learning and experience physically shape the structure of the brain. Every new skill learned, every memory formed, and every habit developed contributes to changes in neural pathways. Intelligence, therefore, is not a fixed structure but a constantly adapting system that responds to engagement with the world. Beyond biology, intelligence is also closely tied to adaptability. Intelligent individuals are not simply those who know the most, but those who can apply what they know in new and unfamiliar situations. Adaptability involves recognizing patterns, drawing connections between ideas, and adjusting strategies when circumstances change. It requires flexibility of thought and openness to new information. In this sense, intelligence is not just about possessing knowledge but about using it effectively when conditions shift. This ability to adapt becomes especially important in environments that are uncertain or rapidly changing. Memory and reasoning form two of the core pillars of intelligence. Memory allows individuals to retain and access information, creating a foundation upon which knowledge is built. Reasoning enables individuals to analyze that information, identify relationships, and draw conclusions. Together, they allow for higher-order thinking such as planning, decision-making, and problem-solving. Without memory, experience cannot accumulate. Without reasoning, experience cannot be meaningfully interpreted. These two processes work together continuously, forming the backbone of cognitive ability. Language adds another essential dimension to intelligence. Through language, individuals are able to communicate ideas, share experiences, and build shared understanding. Language does not merely reflect thought, it also shapes it. The structure and vocabulary of a language influence how people categorize experiences and interpret the world around them. Because of this, intelligence is not only an internal process but also a social one. It is developed and expressed through communication, allowing individuals to collaborate, teach, and learn from one another. Emotional understanding expands the concept of intelligence beyond purely cognitive processes. The ability to recognize, interpret, and manage emotions both in oneself and in others plays a crucial role in how people make decisions and navigate relationships. Emotional intelligence includes empathy, self-awareness, and emotional regulation. These abilities are essential for maintaining healthy social interactions and making balanced decisions. Without emotional understanding, even high cognitive ability can lead to poor outcomes in social contexts. Intelligence, therefore, is not complete without emotional depth. Creativity represents yet another dimension of intelligence. It involves the ability to generate new ideas, approach problems in unconventional ways, and imagine possibilities beyond existing structures. Creativity is not limited to artistic expression, it is present in scientific discovery, technological innovation, and everyday problem solving. It reflects the ability to move beyond established patterns and explore alternative solutions. In this sense, creativity is a form of intellectual expansion, pushing the boundaries of what is known and understood. As understanding of intelligence continues to evolve, it becomes increasingly clear that it is not a fixed trait but a dynamic capacity that can be developed over time. Learning is central to this development. It is not merely the acquisition of facts but a process of transformation that changes how individuals think and interpret the world. Through experience, reflection, and practice, cognitive abilities can be strengthened and refined. This view shifts intelligence away from rigid classification and toward growth and development, emphasizing potential rather than limitation. In modern thought, intelligence is often understood as something that exists in multiple forms rather than a single measurable quantity. These forms interact and overlap, creating a complex system of abilities that support human functioning. Cognitive skills, emotional insight, social understanding, and creative thinking all contribute to how individuals navigate life. This broader understanding encourages a more inclusive view of human capability, recognizing that different people may express intelligence in different but equally valuable ways. Intelligence also involves the ability to deal with uncertainty. Life rarely presents clear or complete information, and intelligent behavior often requires making decisions under conditions of ambiguity. This involves weighing possibilities, estimating outcomes, and remaining flexible as new information becomes available. Rather than seeking absolute certainty, intelligence in this context is about managing uncertainty effectively and adjusting as needed. It reflects a balance between confidence and openness, allowing individuals to act even when conditions are not fully clear. Another important dimension is metacognition, the ability to think about one's own thinking. This involves awareness of cognitive processes, including how one learns, reasons, and solves problems. Metacognitive individuals are able to monitor their understanding, recognize gaps in knowledge, and adjust strategies accordingly. This self-awareness enhances learning and decision-making, making intelligence more efficient and directed. It allows individuals to take control of their own cognitive development rather than relying solely on external guidance. Intelligence is also deeply shaped by culture. Different societies value different forms of intelligence, influencing how individuals develop and express their abilities. In some cultures, intelligence is closely linked to academic achievement and formal knowledge. In others, it may be associated with social harmony, practical skills, or moral wisdom. These cultural differences highlight that intelligence is not a universal standard but a flexible concept shaped by human values and priorities. It reflects not only how people think, but also what they consider important to think about. In recent decades, technological advancement has added new dimensions to the concept of intelligence. The development of systems capable of performing tasks that once required human cognition has led to new questions about the nature of intelligence itself. The field of artificial intelligence explores how machines can simulate aspects of learning, reasoning, and problem solving. While these systems can process large amounts of data quickly and identify patterns efficiently, they do so in ways fundamentally different from human cognition. Human intelligence is shaped by emotion, consciousness, and lived experience, while artificial systems operate through algorithms and computation. This contrast has encouraged deeper reflection on what intelligence truly means. As machines become more capable, human intelligence is increasingly understood in terms of qualities that machines cannot easily replicate, such as creativity, empathy, ethical reasoning, and contextual understanding. These differences highlight that intelligence is not only about processing information but also about meaning, experience, and purpose. Education plays a crucial role in shaping intelligence by providing environments in which cognitive abilities can develop. Traditional education systems have often focused on standardized measures of intelligence, but there is growing recognition that such measures capture only a portion of human ability. Broader educational approaches aim to nurture critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and emotional development. These approaches reflect a more holistic understanding of intelligence as something diverse and adaptable rather than uniform and fixed. Motivation and mindset also influence how intelligence is expressed. Individuals who believe that their abilities can improve through effort are more likely to engage with challenges and persist through difficulties. This perspective encourages growth and learning, reinforcing the idea that intelligence is not static but capable of development. Persistence, curiosity, and resilience all contribute to how effectively intelligence is applied in real situations. Ethical awareness adds another layer to the concept of intelligence. The ability to make decisions that are not only effective but also responsible requires consideration of consequences and impact. Intelligence without ethical reflection can lead to harmful outcomes, while intelligence guided by ethical understanding can contribute to positive change. This connection between intelligence and responsibility emphasizes that how intelligence is used is as important as the intelligence itself. Across all these perspectives, intelligence emerges as a complex and evolving phenomenon that cannot be reduced to a single definition. It is shaped by biology, environment, culture, and experience, and expressed through a wide range of abilities and behaviors. It includes the capacity to learn, adapt, reason, feel, communicate, and create. It is both individual and collective, both internal and social, both cognitive and emotional. It is not something that exists in isolation but something that develops through continuous interaction with the world. Ultimately, intelligence can be understood as a lifelong process of engagement with reality. It is not a fixed possession but a dynamic unfolding of potential through experience, reflection, and action. It enables individuals to navigate complexity, respond to uncertainty, and contribute to the world around them. By embracing its many forms and recognizing its evolving nature, intelligence becomes not just a concept to be defined but a lived experience that shapes every aspect of human life. Thank you for watching this video.